Good morning, dear students. So we are in the chapter electromagnetic induction, and in this chapter the vital thing is the induced EMF and the induced current, which is created in a closed conductor by creating its relative motion in a magnetic field. So now in this video we will see the expression of the induced current and charge. Okay. So now let's see. So suppose the coil which you have taken having number of total turns is n. Okay, it means it is not a single loop. E is equal to induced EMF. The rate of change of flux is d phi dt with time. The resistance of the circuit or the conductor is R. So now the induced current, we can get the expression of induced current by using Ohm's law, that is I is equal to V by R. So here E is equal to N d phi dt. We all know that the induced EMF is proportional to rate of change of flux. In case of a single coil, if it is of a single loop, then E is equal to d phi dt. Since the coil has n number of turns, so E is equal to N d phi dt, putting the value. So multiplying I into dt, we get N by R d phi. So now we will integrate from 0 to t, and the right side N by R, since it is constant, d phi is an integrating factor, so phi 1 by phi 2. What does it mean? It means initially when t is equal to 0, the flux was phi 1, and after time t, after few times, say t, the flux is changed into phi 2. Okay. So now I into dt, current into time is equal to charge, because current is equal to charge by time. So 0 to t we get charge. Okay, current is equal to rate of flow of charge, so charge is equal to current into time. So n by r, phi 2 minus phi 1, so n by r, phi 2 minus phi 1 means change in flux, very easy. So now we have got the expression of charge, that is charge is equal to total number of turns in the coil into change in flux divided by resistance. Clear? So this is the basic general expression of charge in case of induced current in the closed conductor in case of electromagnetic induction. But here something is to be noticed. Here we can see that current is dependent on resistance, but here EMF is independent of resistance. Clear? In this expression, charge, you can see, is dependent on resistance, but it is totally independent on time. What does it mean? It means whatever be the change of flux, it doesn't depend on how fast or slow the coil or magnet is brought closer and away from each other. How fast or slow the flux is going to be changed, charge is totally independent on it. Clear? Okay. So the next topic is motion of a straight conductor in a uniform magnetic field, which is the basic method in case of producing induced current in a closed conductor, placing in a magnetic field in electromagnetic induction. Isn't it? So here, though it is called straight conductor, but this experiment can be performed by taking a closed rectangular coil or conductor. It is not applicable in case of a circular coil. Clear? So here you can see there is a two poles N and S. Obviously, it is only possible in case of a horseshoe magnet, that is U-shaped magnet. Uniform means, as I have told several times, if the magnitude and direction of a magnetic field is same, exactly equal at each and every point, only in that case it is called uniform magnetic field, and the magnetic field lines are in the form of a straight, that is the parallel. Clear? So here the direction of magnetic field acts from north to south pole due to the direction in the direction of the journey of magnetic field lines of forces. So here we have taken a closed conductor in the form of a rectangular shape. Obviously you can see a galvanometer is attached to it to assure about the presence of the induced current by the deflection of the needle of the galvanometer. You already know. So now we will what do we do? We will move the conductor or the coil, the rectangular coil, in this direction, up and down. So what will happen? So in this case you can see here the conductor is placed normally, that is perpendicularly to the magnetic field. Magnetic field, coil up down, isn't it? So the direction of motion of the coil and the direction of the magnetic field is here is perpendicular. So when we move it up and down, the magnetic field lines of forces will intersect, isn't it? So there will be change when there is down and up. Each and every moment, the number of magnetic field lines of forces passing through the coil or intersecting will change. As a result, what will be the result? So obviously, there will be change in magnetic flux, which in turn causes for creation of induced current. The current will be induced. Why? Because of the induced EMF. Rate of change of flux is equal to N d phi dt is equal to d phi dt. So if flux is changed due to change in position of the coil, intersecting number of field lines cross each and every time it will change. Change in flux, EMF will be developed, and because of developed of the EMF of induced EMF, we will get an induced current. This is the basic theory, isn't it? But what will be the direction of this induced current? So we will determine it. So to find out it, we will use Fleming's right hand rule, which we have already learned in previous video. So here the magnetic field is acting towards y-axis, you can see, and in this case, first case, suppose the conductor is moved in the downward direction, which is indicated by the V. Here V represents the direction of motion of the conductor. Initially it is, suppose, moved in the downward direction. Later you will see if it is moved in the upward direction, what will be the direction of the current. So suppose the conductor is moved in the downward direction. So in which direction current will flow? So it can be easily explained through Fleming's right hand rule. So this is the direction. Index is indicating the direction of magnetic field. Right hand thumb is towards the velocity or the force acting on the conductor move. So magnetic field is in this direction. Motion of the conductor is in the downward direction. So the middle finger will obviously indicate the direction of the induced current. You can see in which direction it is acting. It is acting in this place, isn't it? Which is nothing but here, which is indicated by arrow I. Very clear. Index finger, direction of magnetic field. Right hand thumb indicating the direction of motion of the conductor, since initially it is moved in the downward direction. So middle finger, you can see the direction of the magnetic field. Just match it. Very easy. B, magnetic field, motion of the conductor in direction of induced current. So that's why at first, when the conductor is moved in the downward direction, so the induced current will be in the clockwise direction. When the conductor will be moved, if it is moved in the upward direction, so obviously the direction of current will be reversed. How? Direction of magnetic field, isn't it? Direction of magnetic field here. You can see if it is moved in the upward direction. So here, this is direction of magnetic field. B, motion, instead of downward it is in the upward direction, like this. Direction of magnetic field, motion of the conductor, you can see previously it was acting in this direction, now it is in the outward direction. So it means it will act in the anti-clockwise direction. So very easy. Okay. So now the magnitude of the induced EMF. So far we are thus discussing about induced current, induced EMF. We have got the expression of induced charge. Here we will get the magnitude of the induced EMF, which is also called motional EMF. Why? Since here EMF is induced due to motion of the conductor, so that's why it is called motional EMF. So we will assume a different picture. Okay, different. Suppose you can see the dotted lines indicates the magnetic field, okay, which is acting outward, perpendicular to the board. It means towards our direction. This is the direction of B. Okay, a straight conductor is placed here. A straight conductor is placed here, and if we move straight conductor, we will move up and down. So obviously, according to Fleming's right hand rule, a current will be induced here, isn't it? So what will be the direction of the current? So this is the magnetic field, okay, which is acting in this direction. Okay, this is the direction of the, you can see, this is the direction of the magnetic field acting in this direction. Conductor is moved in the downward direction. So in this direction, so in which direction the current will be induced? So the direction of induced current is in this direction, which can be easily determined by using Fleming's right hand rule. If it is moved in that direction, okay, if it is moved in upward direction, isn't it? Here, if the conductor is moved in the upward direction like this, so in that case the current, the direction of the induced current will be in the right side. Okay, so since current, when current is, the direction of the induced current is in this direction, so obviously we all know that current always flows from higher potential to lower potential. So the B terminal, it will be at positive potential, and A terminal will be at negative potential. And if the conductor is moved in the upward direction, it will be reversed. Means A side will be at positive potential, B will be at negative potential. Okay, so let's now find out the magnitude of the induced EMF. Here magnetic induction is equals to B. It is also expressed as magnetic field also. Okay, magnetic induction is sometimes indicates the magnetic field. Why? Now since we all know that in case of a magnet, when any conductor turns into magnet, or in case of a simple magnet, up to its a certain region magnetic field is created. It means the range of its magnetic field works up to a certain region, and if we place any magnetic material inside its magnetic field, only in that case that magnetic material, okay, is only get attracted by that magnet when it enters its area. It means its magnetic field. When it is outside its magnetic field, it is not attracted. Okay, when it just enters in the range of its magnetic field, only in that case it is getting attracted by the magnet. So it means magnetic induction, okay, is the measurement, we can say, since just entering in the magnetic field, magnetic induction, okay, attraction is starting, and which is called magnetic induction. So magnetic field can be easily expressed by magnetic induction. So we can say it is the indication. Magnetic induction is the indication of magnetic field. So that's why magnetic field and magnetic induction are indicated by same letter, that is B. Suppose length of the conductor is L, and the velocity of the conductor, the motion which it is moving down and up and down, it is V. So now the area covered by conductor in unit time is equal to L into B. What does it mean? It means in unit time, okay, its area, its total length is L. This is L length, and in 1 second, its velocity is V. So it means in unit time, or in unit second, or unit time, we can say in unit time it is moved in this. So it has taken this form, in the form of a rectangle, isn't it? In unit time, you can say 1 second, it is moved here. So unit second, unit time, it is traveled a distance V. Here we can say this is V. Very easy, since its velocity is V, it is moved in this direction in unit time. And what is the velocity V? Velocity means the distance traveled by any object in unit time. So unit time, it is travels this distance V. So what is the total area covered by the conductor in unit time? Length into width, isn't it? So length is L and width is V. So that's why the area covered by the conductor while moving in the downward direction in unit time LB. Very easy. Change in flux is equal to d phi by dt. So d dt is equal to BA. Flux is equal to BA. Why? Because as I have told that in a magnetic field, if at any point, if we assume in a magnetic field, suppose it's a magnetic field, so if at any point, if we assume any unit area perpendicular to the magnetic field, then the number of magnetic field lines crossing per unit area is called magnetic induction. Whereas flux is total number of magnetic field lines crossing that surface, which is total number of magnetic fields covering only one point, isn't it? Placed any coil, and if we consider so many points here, so in one point if we consider a unit area, a unit plane or unit area, so the number of magnetic field lines crossing per unit area is called magnetic induction, whereas flux is the total number of magnetic field lines crossing through the entire area. So that's why for unit area, number of magnetic field lines is B, and for A, since A is the total area, is equal to BA. That is called flux. So phi is equal to BA. So B is constant into dA dt. What is dA dt? Area per unit time. Area per unit time. So what is the area in unit time? Isn't it? We have already got LB. So in the place of dA dt, we can write LB. So here this is BLB. So EMF is equal to d phi by dt is equal to BLB. Now here the conductor is placed perpendicularly with the magnetic field. It means theta. So in that case, perpendicularly. Now if it is not perpendicular, if it makes some angle theta with the magnetic field, so in that case the vertical component, the horizontal component will be cos theta, whereas the vertical component will be sin theta. So BLB sin theta, whereas theta is the angle between the magnetic field and the velocity, between magnetic field and the velocity of that conductor. So here, since here conductor is placed perpendicular to the magnetic field, so theta is equal to 90 degrees, so sin 90 equals to 1, so E is equal to BLB. So it means when the conductor is placed perpendicularly, only in that case we can get an EMF induced current. If it is placed parallel, to the magnetic field, then sign 0. Then sign 0 means 0. So in that case there will be no induced EMF or no induced current. Clear? So that's all for today. We will see in next video.